I'm a privilege to welcome everyone of us to this yet another wonderful feat recorded by the government of His Excellency our able governor, our dynamic governor. So this notes I welcome this great man to this very important program, man of mission and vision, our ever dynamic and man of great intellect, courage, and breaking character. Join us and welcome this great man, Governor of the State of Osun, His Excellency Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola. We're always very happy to have our mother with us, the governor's office, the wife of the governor, chairperson, Southern Governor's Vice Chair, Excellency Mr. Oyetola. The Deputy Governor of Adegboyega State, His Excellency Mr. Adegboyega. I recognize the Secretary of State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji. Let me from there recognize the now the educationist who, by the grace of God, we are happy to always have him leading the course of progress and development of Adegboyega State. It's always champion the same. Professor of Vocational and Technical Education, Professor Oyetola. Also, on this side of the divide, I recognize a nurse professor of obstetrics and gynecology, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, former Minister of Health, and by the grace of God, Chairman of the Governing Council for our own Osun State University Teaching Hospital, Professor Isaac Adewale. Let me from there recognize the Chief of Staff of the Governor, Dr. Charles Akinola. Recognize you, sir. Recognize the State Parliament is represented there, the Chairman of the Committee on Education, Honorable Babatunde Ipioba. Recognize you. The Head of Service, Dr. Adegboyega, recognize you. Let me through him recognize senior cabinet members who are here present. But I must recognize the Permanent Secretary, Human Resources Capacity Building, and PSO, Public Service Office, Mr. Adegboyega, welcome, sir. Our Secretary of Education, Mr. Adegboyega, recognize you, sir. Let me recognize distinguished members of the Implementation Committee that as Adadi was earlier mentioned as Chairman, Professor Oyetola, once again, recognize, sir. We also have on the committee the immediate past Vice Chancellor of Osun University, now Professor of Forensic Economics, Professor Adegboyega. Also on the committee, we have now the educationist. I remember she was at the point in time the other Commissioner for Education at Adegboyega State, Foundation Vice Chancellor of University of Education, Education, that's right. Professor Oyetola. Also, I'm happy to welcome my renowned teacher of teachers, Professor of National Relations, And Chancellor, Chairman Governing Council, Ilesa University, Professor Adegboyega. Recognize Professor of English and Applied Linguistics, Professor Oyetola. We have with us here a notable entrepreneur and key private sector player on the committee, Sarah Saudi. I must also recognize, even though in absentia, the pioneer Vice Chancellor of Osun University and the now Professor of History, Oyetola. I recognize our own interface team with the committee, who's under the chairmanship of Dr. Charles Inaugurates, Chief of Staff. We have, I recognize, sir, we have the head of service, Dr. Festus Oyetola. We have the Commissioner for Education, and follow Oyetola. We have Mr. Femi Akonde, Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, and Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Paula Oyetola. I recognize the Chairman, Governing Council of Secondary Education in Ilesa, Uncle Kule Oreri. Welcome, sir. And let me recognize the principal officers of the college that here, Dr. Matayo Akamu, and the provost. I recognize him. The registrar, Mrs. M. Forobadi, the librarian, Mr. E. and of course, our prince of Igbajo, Mr. Akibade Latilo, Prince Akibade Latilo. I recognize you. I recognize other top government officials here present. I recognize the Wisdom and the family. I recognize you, sir. At this point in time, we'd like to proceed. But I'm constrained, of course. I must not do that without recognizing the Chief Executive, Mr. Governor, Mr. Ismail Omigidon, and of course my constituency, distinguished members of the press. Your Excellency, they have been here for hours waiting for this program to start. Please, join us together, please, as I recognize you once again. Thank you so much. At this point in time, we would like to welcome, to lead us a brief background of what we are witnessing today. It is, of course, you agree with me, it's a landmark. Another feat recorded by the government of Mr. Oyetola. The Chief of Staff to the Governor, Dr. Charles Akindiji.
His Excellency, Dr. Oyetola, First Lady, Oyetola, the Deputy Governor, and I'd like to recognize other distinguished members of the high table. So, representative of the Speaker, Honorable more known as Ilesa, SSG, Honorable Minister, Former Minister, and distinguished members of the Implementation Committee. It's indeed my distinct honor to welcome you all to this historical occasion of the inauguration of the Implementation Committee of the University of Ilesa. I'd like to express on behalf of every one of us here, the state, a profound thanks, gratitude to Mr. Governor Oyetola for being a visionary and for keeping to his promise out of his avowed commitment to qualitative education and indeed the future of our state. It is that passion and commitment to not just talk, but insist that the right course of action is painstakingly followed that has resulted in the composition of the Implementation Committee and the engagement of the globally renowned advisory firm, the KPMG, in the development of the sustainability plan and the governance charter for this proposed university. So what we are privileged to have from the word go is a university that is clearly going to be exceptional on account of the rigor and the innovative thinking that will be invested in it. I must of course thank all our distinguished committee members for agreeing to serve. The star-studded team with Professor Oluwaino, a veteran educationist of repute, globally known. We have Professor Isaac Adewale, who's been Vice Chancellor of a premier university in this country. We have Professor Jide Oweye, who is Chairman of the Governing Council and founder of one of the leading private universities in the country. We have Professor Yemisi Obilade, who has been the Vice Chancellor of the Tertiary University of Education, a university that also rose from being a college of education. We have Professor Labo Pupuola, who, together with Professor Shola Kiriade, at critical times have piloted the affairs of the State University, Osun, which by any account has shown that sustainability can actually be achieved. There's so much to learn from all of these experiences. We have Professor Wasiu Oyetola, who is also a member of this committee, conscience an activist of note, and so it's a carefully chosen team, and we're so very, very proud. And importantly, we have a very self-effacing gentleman, Mr. Rashid Sarumi, one of the finest entrepreneurs that this state is proud of, coming to join forces. So we're not looking at a university, we're looking at a university for the future that will be entrepreneurial in its thinking. So these are the kinds of people that has been assembled to provide the thinking and all the inform the strategy that will go into the establishment of this university operate. We must thank the Speaker and the House of Assembly for the way and manner they have also applied themselves to doing the needful. I think they've had 3 readings, and as we speak, there's a bill that we forwarded to the office of Mr. Governor for his assent. It's worth noting that we indeed have a good team that will then be able to take forward these ideas, advise Mr. Governor on what they think will work and what will not work in establishing a best-in-class university that we'll all be proud of. I look forward with excitement to the great output that will accrue from the contribution of this star-studded team. Once again, I thank you very much for being part of this very historic occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're moving straight to the state parliament that played a very critical role in the feats we are recording today. Representing the Right Honourable Speaker is a member of the House, representing this Adegboyega constituency of the Parliament, and the Chairman of the Committee on Education, Honourable Babatunde Ibirogba.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, the most punctilious governor, the most meticulous, the most perspicacious governor we have ever seen in the state of Osun. Good afternoon, our First Lady. May the Lord bless you. The Deputy Governor, the most loyal Deputy Governor we have ever had in the state of Osun. Good afternoon.
the professor of obstetrics, if I'm not mistaken, Professor Oyetola, Adegboyega, sorry. You are welcome. My greetings, sir. Baba Uluena, the most outstanding educationist in this climate. Thank you, sir. My brother and father, a prince from Ebedore, I greet you. Dr. Charles Akiola, please allow me to dwell on the already existing protocol. So, because for want of time, right? And then another thing with we are just coming from the birthday commemoration of our right honorable speaker, Honorable Timothy Adegboyega. He's marking his 58th birthday today. It is absolutely a thing of fecundity for this coincidence. We are celebrating at the House of Assembly, and here the most cerebral governor in this climate of ours, Nigeria political firmament, Mr. Oyetola, who has come up with many things that are worthy of celebration in the state of Osun. Sir, you will recall that when this bill was sent to us for perusal and passage, we wasted no time in getting it done, because we are elated that the long-awaited upgrade of the College of Education in Ilesa was about to be afoot, and it was done in your own time. Sir, I give you merited kudos, because where we are coming from, the speaker was saying the grace he has got so far is unmerited. Sir, this is merited to you, sir. Sir, without much ado about nothing, and without sudating or sudoning, let me say without ear of equivocation, that we are lucky to have you, and we are lucky that this particular institution is now upgraded to a full-fledged university. Congratulations to the people of Osun. Congratulations to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Please, thank you so much. A round of applause to the most perspicacious lawmaker in our state. Excellency, sir, I want to propose that Honorable Ilesa be allowed to go to House of Reps. This grammar is too much for us in this state. While I'm speaking in the National Assembly. The next to be moving straight. At this point in time, without much ado, to listen to Mr. Governor, the Governor of the State of Osun, who will also inaugurate the committee. Over to you, sir. Your Excellency.
Thank you. I was looking for a dictionary. Interpret religious speech. Yes, it's a wonderful day. I recognize my wife, my Oyetola, my deputy, the Speaker, House of Assembly, Right Honorable Oyetola, Adegboyega today, ably represented by Chairman, House Committee on Education, Honorable Babatunde Ibiroba, alias Ilesa. Other serving and former honorable members that are here, SSG, COS, Head of Service, other executive council members that are here, particularly Commissioner for Education, Honorable Follow Oladoyin Bamisayemi, SC Education, Honorable Jamiu Onagumi, PS, CG, GM, Executive Services that are here, Chairman, University of Ilesa Implementation Committee, Professor Oyetola. It's good to have you here. Other members of the committee, I have Professor Labo Pukola, thank you for acceptance of serving. Professor Isaac Adewale, it's good to see you. Professor Yemisi Obilade Eshe, Professor Wasiu Oyedokun, Professor Jide Oweye, thank you. Professor Sola Akeriade and Mr. Rashid Sarumi, thank you very much. Chairman Governing Council of Osun, Ilesa College of Education, Eda Kunle Odeyemi, and one of our wonderful leaders of our party, the acting provost of Osun State College of Education, Ilesa Dr. Motayo Mutala Akamu, other principal officers of the college that are here, the student political functionaries that are here, particularly Honorable Adegboyega Famuriwa, security operatives, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome you all to this historic ceremony of the inauguration of the Implementation Committee for the upgrade of the College of Education, Ilesa to university status as the University of Ilesa. I would like to, on behalf of the government and the people of our great state, express a profound appreciation to all the distinguished members of the Implementation Committee who have accepted to be part of history to unify the delivery of the new university. As you all know, since the assumption of office, our administration has demonstrated commitment to building a truly diversified and resilient Osun economy. To drive this agenda and to develop requisite human capital, we are focused on sustained investment in the education sector. Our goal is to increase access to quality and equitable education at all levels to empower Osun citizens to realize their full potential. In actualizing these objectives, we have constantly collaborated with the private sector and other key stakeholders, as well as supporting initiatives geared towards improving our education system. The idea of this university, therefore, has become necessary to further expand access to qualitative education among other opportunities for our young population. The decision to upgrade the College of Education in Ilesa, I must note, is not out of a product of mere fanciful effort, but one that is a product of thorough and rigorous interrogation, characteristics of the culture of deep engagement for which this administration is noted. Among others, we also took into copious consideration the College of Education is existing infrastructural and human resources asset as the state's oldest college of education in Nigeria. At this point, I must pay due tribute to the stringent efforts of the Owa, our highly revered royal father, His Imperial Majesty Owa Bokun Adimola of Ilesa, Owa Dr. Gabriel Arumularo, PhD, and the Ilesa stakeholders for their unwavering commitment to ensuring that this project comes to fruition. The several efforts before now, including that of the Ilesa Society, under the leadership of such distinguished leaders as Chief Felix Fabogwe SAN, the late Professor Oyewusi Bidakwe, may so rest in peace, Professor Drew Oni, among others, to the most recent effort and hard work of notable sons as our referred elder, Chief Akiwande Akinola, Asiwaju Yinka Fasuyi, among others, are worthy of commendation. I must of course acknowledge efforts of the former Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, and my Chief of Staff, Dr. Charles Akinola, who constantly work together to coordinate from within to ensure that today, and this university becomes a reality. We believe that their clamor is a product of the yearning of the good people of Ilesa land and their commitment to support the state government in achieving its development agenda in education. I must express my gratitude to the Osun State House of Assembly through the Right Honorable Speaker of the House, Timothy Uweye, for the standing contribution which resulted in the prompt passage of the University of Ilesa Bill. I wish to emphasize that equally important to us is a demonstration of the self-sustainability of the university and the good support of all critical stakeholders considering the current and future economic outlook of the state. This is because upgrading the college to university will require enormous financial and human resources and concerted effort of stakeholders. It is for this reason that the university has been carefully conceived as a thoroughly entrepreneurial and innovative university that will be funded through a mix of sources such as the government, community, industry, and other stakeholders without exerting unnecessary pressure on the finances of the state. What this means from the word go is that this is a university that is undoubtedly going to be unique because it is being carefully nurtured to be inoculated from the perennial challenges that plague our average public university in the country, but benchmarks against the best global practices. Considering the above and to support the administration's prompt implementation of the upgrade, we engaged the global advisory firm, KPMG, to offer advisory services on the smooth takeoff of the proposed university to produce a sustainability plan and governance charter. I'm happy to know that we have received the initial report of the firm and we shall make it available for the consideration of the implementation committee. As evident from their rich profile, the membership of the implementation committee is made up of highly eminent academics and professionals who will bring to bear their unique and diverse experience in actualizing our objectives for the upgrade of the College of Education in Ilesa to a full-fledged university. Driven by the quality and the experience network and exposure of the members of this committee and KPMG, I do not doubt that our state will benefit significantly from their experience. It is now my pleasure to inaugurate this committee to the glory of God and the blessing of our collective humanity. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. Please let's give Mr. Governor stand ovation. Stand ovation, Mr. Governor. Thank you so much, Excellency. God bless you, sir. Let's take our seats. Let's take our seats. While I will welcome the chairman of the committee, the newly inaugurated inauguration committee, Mr. Oloremi, to respond.
Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, and your amiable wife, Mrs. Oyetola, the Deputy Governor, Speaker of the House of Assembly represented by Honorable Ibirogba, other distinguished members of high table. I greet you. And I want to particularly greet the distinguished members of the committee and say that in my approximately 60 years experience in the university system in this country and out of this country, this is the best and strongest body I've been called upon to work with. And I'm sure you will agree when I let you know that there are 5 former vice chancellors in this committee. There are 3 former pro-chancellors who are members of this committee, and even a former commissioner for education. And the committee is also comprised of some of the best within the government of the state. Mr. Governor, I commend you for having done such a great job, which raises expectations about what the committee is expected to do, and I can assure you we will not let you down. I thank you, Mr. Governor, for the initiative of responding to the yearnings to rescue the College of Education at Ilesa, a great institution in its own right, which has recently been plagued by a decline in enrollment. And that is a situation which is also true for colleges of education all over the country. This rescue mission is more so appreciated in the face of meager financial resources available to the state. I also wish to appreciate the doggedness and commitment of the community of Ilesa, universally known for their enterprise, for seeing to it that the College of Education is upgraded to a full-fledged university. While it may appear a policy contradiction on the part of government, considering the recent exit from the LAUTECH partnership, what needs to be done must be done for the future of our children, the direct and indirect staff of the institution, and the community at large. I commend the governor for his courage, which reminds me of a Chinese proverb. And I want to quote a proverb that says, if you are planning for a year, you sow rice. If you are planning for a decade, you plant trees. If you are planning for a lifetime, you educate people. For the University of Ilesa, the governor and the people of Ilesa, the Ilesans, have done the needful. On behalf of the members of the committee, who are all patrons, I pledge our resolve to carry out this assignment timely and diligently in the best interest of our dear state. We are honored to be found worthy to act in this capacity. While there is a lot going on in the polity currently, both in the state and nationally, as responsible leaders, we must evolve to the point where the exercise of our democratic franchise no longer grinds activities to a halt, and in the current case, tamper with the education of our future state as well as nation builders. Consequently, and finally, it will be remiss on an occasion like this not to address the elephant in the room. And I'm talking of the ongoing Osun strike, which is now in its 6th month. And as one of them, I call on the federal government, on Osun, and all stakeholders and lovers of the Nigerian child to behave responsibly, set aside differences, and resolve the legitimate and well-funded agitations for our academics. Enough is enough. Thank you, Mr. Governor.
Thanks so much, sir. At this point, I'd like to welcome to the vote of thanks on the Commissioner for Education and Following Show or Ladoyi Bamishayemi.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Osun State, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mrs. Oyetola, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Mr. Benedict Oluboyega, permit me to stand on existing protocol to save this time. Mr. Governor, I would like to thank you for this giant stride, upgrading of the College of Education in Ilesa to a full-fledged university, and the inauguration of the Implementation Committee today. You have etched your name in the sand of time. It's going to remain indelible forever. History will be kind to you. I also like to thank the committee members through Professor Oluwaina for accepting to serve on this committee. We appreciate you all. I would like to thank everybody in the room for gracing this occasion. God bless you all. Thank you for coming.